Hello, this is Brian, and welcome to Brian's Hobbies. Today, I'm going to start working on the very first plastic model kit I have ever built. I chose this 1968 Volkswagen Beetle, mostly because I'm familiar with the car. This is also the first video I've ever created for YouTube. So my hope is to combine my passion for learning, making things, and solving problems with the process of documenting it. As I mentioned, I've never built a plastic model kit before, so this ought to be interesting. I see we've got some chrome. There's some clear, looks like windshields and lights. Let's see, the body. That's a very familiar shape. And bumpers. It's definitely bumpers. Hood, recognize that, and the bonnet, I guess they call it, and then I guess the hood's on the back, and other parts, tires. Wow, that's got some detail. Those look like tires. That's nice. Instructions, we'll be getting into those more, I'm sure. There's the floor pan and the frame. Looks like some wheel parts maybe, and some other things. All right, here we go. There are a lot of parts here, so we're going to have to figure out some way to organize these things. I think we're going to take some inspiration from Adam Savage and his use of foam core to help create storage for his shop. Since this is not going to be a permanent fixture, and it's just for this one model, or at least that's what we're going to start with, and we're going to make it out of cardboard. Laying one of these out is pretty simple. Just need to take a look at what you've got to sort and then sort of take a guess at what kind of space you need for each type of part. Here we're going to need a large area for the body parts. We'll need to cut some sides and then cut them to the proper length. Most of this is done by feel. Once you've determined the size base you need, use that as a reference for cutting your sides to the proper length. Here, we need to get the end pieces to the proper length to fit in between the two side pieces. In order to get that measurement, we place the two side pieces together on one edge and then use the length of the base to determine the length of the end pieces. You'll see how that works here in just a moment. So I went out and bought a new glue gun. It's just at my local hobby store. It's the first time I've ever used this brand, so we'll see how it goes. Hot glue is really the best way of assembling these type of sorting trays. It sets up fast and is pretty strong. Take standard glue sticks. This one's dual temperature, and I started out on high temperature, thinking that would give me a quicker flow, but the set time was incredibly long. Actually, I had to hold it there for a minute before it would stop slipping around. I've now lowered it down to the low temperature. Still got good flow, but it sets a lot faster. Here's where measuring those end pieces come into play. For the interior chambers, let's call them, I'm going to need some different sizes. So we need a large one for the larger body parts, the actual body, the floor pan and the frame. Here's a quick hot glue technique for you when working in places where you can't pre-glue the area. I guess I could have pre-glued that one, but it's really just about as quick to put a little bead along the edge, and it just holds the two pieces together. This kit has a lot of tiny parts. I don't quite know what all of them do yet, but I'm assuming the makers of the kit have them organized in some fashion. So yeah, there's a better example of pre-gluing the part before sticking it in. The kit has a lot of small parts, so I want to make sure I've got enough small areas to put the little tiny bits and pieces so that they don't get lost. And we'll need some medium-sized ones for some of the larger components. around with a couple of different layouts. I finally went with two smaller medium size spots and then one larger medium size spot. Once everything is in place, you're immediately ready to go. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, the next video in the series is right here. I hope you enjoy it.